Tourists returned to Mexican beaches after one of the biggest sanitary crises caused by swine flu. This paralyzed all commercial activities in the country and produced one of the lowest tourist seasons in the history of Mexican Caribbean. In spite of this, only 850 deaths have been caused by swine flu. At the beginning of the year, Mexican Caribbean reached up to 90% of occupation. Hélène Godet traveled from Quebec with all her family.
Our whole family has come. All my brothers, sisters, my mother, all our children, all the spouses, the partners. And no, none of us are afraid. There's 17 of us in all, and none of us are afraid of swine flu.
In December, the National Tourism Confederation estimated that more than 3 million national and foreign tourists have traveled in Mexico. According to the Secretary of Tourism, Mexico ceased to receive $1.4 billion in profits from tourism. Hotels and other tourist centers are implementing the measures of the World Health Organization to prevent any tourist from being affected with the illness, according to Rolf Salomon, director of Gran Melia Hotel. At Gran Melia Cancun, we are taking all preventive measures not to have a case of swine flu, especially now that tourism is returning to our destination and our hotel. This high season, Cancun Airport receives approximately 400 flights daily with 90% occupation, the same as prior seasons. The medical emergencies in Cancun can now be attended in modern private hospitals such as Galenia. Here, stational flu vaccines are applied and the tests are offered to detect stational as well as swine flu virus. Galenia is one of the 4 private hospitals in Mexico that counts on a nuclear laboratory with the necessary equipment to detect specific cases of stational and swine flu. The testing takes 4 hours and allows the doctors to give a specific treatment against this type of illness when detected. Dr. Eduardo Loya, director of Galenia Hospital, says they count on everything necessary to treat swine flu.
It is safe to travel to Mexico. There were very few cases of swine flu in this state. Also, we are protected. The government has already vaccinated us. Soon, more vaccines will arrive from Canada. The precautions that tourists need to take when in Mexico are to wash their hands frequently, cover their mouths when they sneeze, and follow the same international health rules.
Mexico organized a campaign to promote tourism with the slogan Vive Mexico, Long Live Mexico. The first stage was directed to the national market, as Steve Austin, director of the Tourism Promotion Council, says. Vive Mexico was always thought for motivating the Mexican consumers to travel within Mexico. The Blue Parrot is one of the oldest tourist bars in Playa del Carmen. It celebrates with fire dancing the arrival of tourism. The manager of the bar, Luis Real, remembers that they are coming out of a very low season. Since swine flu, we have had a very low season, and instead of 3 months, it was 6. People stopped traveling. Also, on top of that, there was the economic crisis and the insecurity the country went through. However, since last month, we have turned around wonderfully. People are spending again. If you look around, the bar is full. Along the edge of the sea, surrounded by tourists, walks Carlos Muñoz, a social anthropologist who has lived in Playa del Carmen for 20 years.
The crisis in tourism is not due to swine flu. The crisis comes from the war that was created against Afghanistan and Iraq, and a great housing credit was given. Therefore, people do not have money to pay their home loans and less to spend on vacations. Tourists continue to arrive. However, they have no money. They are arriving with no acquisition power.
Now that the virus has extended to the entire world, the panic amongst tourists has diminished. Mexico offers an economic destination and with successful sanitary politics to control swine flu during this winter tourism. For Associated Press, Verónica Gaymer.